Hi, Grand Rising, everyone. How are you doing? So, yesterday on Facebook, I saw some people in Kenya talking about how the CBC system is so bad and that's how they love the 844 system. But let me tell you the truth, 844 system is not good because I went to university in the 844 system and now I live in Italy and they don't even consider my degree. The problem with the 844 system was that the education that was given to us by the colonialists was normally based on theory. And so, oh, princess, 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 stop, baby. Sorry about that. Yeah. And so, this theory education that we were like, name the parts of a grasshopper, name the parts of a tree. It it's not needed out here. What is needed here is hands-on, and that is what CBC is coming in with. I do not have a problem with CBC. The only problem I have is that the ministries has changed on political levels, and that is where the problem is. The system of education in Kenya is supposed to be under, for example, TSC, that is a permanent institution that doesn't have to move from who is the minister and who's not the minister. The problem with it being under the politicians is that the politicians just award their friends. They don't even consider who is passionate about our children and who is passionate about development and who is passionate about the kind of education our children are receiving. So when Dr. Fred Matiang'i was Minister for Education, he lined up so many things that were not just about his tribe, but they were about the welfare of students and the welfare of everyone in the whole of Kenya. So that is my kind of person that is supposed to lead the Ministry of Education. And it was later crumpled up because under the politicians, they started giving it to friends and to people that really did not see the vision that Dr. Fred Matiang'i and Professor Magoha had. At least these people should be able to borrow even the notes and ask, what was the vision behind the system that you put in place? Let me tell you right now, the girl that I was sharing a room with in Italy, she didn't go to university. She's from Nigeria, but she knows how to do hair. She knows how to ride a bicycle. She knows how to drive a car, which I don't know. And we have to integrate into the system before we are allowed to do anything. But when you have your skills with you, when you can be able to make hair, you can literally be able to make hair for friends and they can pay you before you become officially allowed to work into the system. And these are the kind of skills they encourage, hands-on. They don't really consider your degree. Even if after it took 3 years for me to be integrated into the system and get a work permit, but still, I don't know how to drive. Some jobs I can't even be employed because I don't know how to drive. The reason I don't know how to drive also is because of my eye problem, but it's a skill that is an added advantage. So for me, I support CBC, and I hope that we can get better leaders who can move that docket to a place like TSC where politicians do not have to interfere. And then let me advise you, if you want to travel, the courses that you can do that can really help you even before you settle down in the foreign country or even in Kenya, you can just package yourself and market yourself and be able to sell these things, making hair, cooking delicious food, sewing clothes, repairing phones, repairing shoes, electricity, plumbing, driving, crocheting. Oh my God, people are making millions out of crocheting, doing content. Doing content has become one of the fastest ways. Okay, it doesn't happen so fast, of course, but is one of those ways just to know how to use a phone. It doesn't take 4 years and so many amounts of money for school fees for you to learn how to use a phone and to make content that is catchy. So guys, let nobody lie to you. CBC is good, just that we need systems in place that manage that system. Let me tell you the truth. Most of the people that come abroad, America, Europe, most of those universities that you see there, the students, baby, is okay. I will talk to you, okay? The students that are in those universities are mostly from abroad, and they have to take loans and pay so much money to acquire those masters and whatever. And some of them, of course, are lucky to get scholarships. But the local people, like maybe the Americans, like maybe the Italians, you get like 5% in those universities because they specialize at a very young age. A 3-year-old already owns some company. A 3-year-old already writes books. A 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old already doing ballet, already playing football, already specializing in whatever they want to do in their future. So let nobody lie to you. CBC system is great. And actually, it's even introduced our children to our own languages that were now becoming extinct, which is a beautiful thing. Embracing our own culture and having self-love and appreciating what we have as African people, it is a plus. So that's my take. It's not a must that everybody agrees with me, but that is my take. And I've been to America, I've been to Europe, been to Africa. Africa, we have the best. The only problem is the politicians are very greedy and selfish, and people always take bribes from them and don't hold them accountable. That is the problem. We need to wake up. Okay, thank you.